A novelist who re-evaluated the Korean history with an epic historical trilogy. A bestseller writer who will remain long in history. Meet Jo Jeong-rae, who touches countless minds with a pen and creates a whole new world on paper.
A writer's jail. For 20 years, Jo Jeong-rae gave up his life, locking himself up in jail, and lived only for novels. He says that as it becomes more difficult to live in the world, writers must create pieces that will give hope to people. And Jo Jeong-rae kept that promise. The pieces that he has written until now have given consolation to his readers.
The Arirang Literature Center opened in Kimjae-si City, North Jeollado Province last May. Everything related to Arirang is here, from the beginning notes of the novel, the writer's original manuscript, to the desk he wrote it on. Here, we can see with our own eyes writer Jo Jeong-rae's literary achievement, along with the French version of the novel.
아리랑 문학관이 만들어진 것은 작가가 생존해서 자기 작품의 무대에 문학관이 세워진 건 최초 일입니다. 그래서 작가로서 보람이 있고, 그리고 이제 대하소설이 10권이 넘는 게 불어 문학관, 쉽게 말하면 유럽 지역에서 완역이 된 것도 또한 최초 일입니다. 그래서 그 번역도 잘 되었다고 이제 프랑스 현지 지식인들이 말하고 있고.
Arirang is an epic novel made up of 12 volumes. It took the writer 5 years to write it and 7 years to translate it. He did research for his story while traveling for the length of going around the earth 3.5 times. And as a result, came up with 1,200 characters on 20,000 pages of manuscript. Starting with another epic novel, Taebaek Mountain Range, Jo Jeong-rae went on to rewrite the 100 years of Korean history in Arirang and Han River. All these pieces became bestseller novels in Korean literature, but Arirang, which has reached its 10th year since publication, is especially precious to him.
그리고 또 순환의 역사를 살았으면 삶만큼 민족적인 긍지감과 자존심이 사야 되는데 우리는 계속 굴욕만 당했다고 하는 것을 보여준 것밖에 없었습니다. 그래서 그 부족한 부분, 역사학도 기피해버리고 하지 못한 부분들을 소설에서 완전 복원을 함으로써 민족적 긍지감을 세워야 하고, 그 순환의 역사가 미래의 역사로 이어지는데 새롭게 역사를 일으킬 수 있는 원동력이 되어야 되겠다 하는 자각 때문에 아리랑을 쓰게 된 겁니다.
The setting of Arirang is the Kimjae Plain. The deep ideological conflicts between the main characters erupted during the Japanese colonization period. Despite these conflicts, however, the characters have one goal. It is to get back the Kimjae Plain. It is to regain their country. The Gunsan port, the passage for delivering the grain from the Kimjae Plain to Japan, prospered while the Kimjae Plain was slowly being ruined. The Kimjae Plain is also where the Japanese landowner Hashimoto's house and his monument from the Japanese were located. It is the land of sorrow that will not be easily erased from our history.
김제평야를 소설의 무대로 삼았던 이유는 김제평야는 한반도에서 유일하게 지평선이 보이는 곳입니다. 그만큼 농토가 넓어서 일본이 우리나라를 수탈할 때 여러 가지 목적 중에 하나가 일본이 부족했던 식량을 확보하는 것이었습니다. 그래서 김제평야가 제일 먼저 수탈을 당하기 시작했고 맨 마지막 해방이 될 때까지 수탈을 당했습니다. 그 쌀이 일본의 실기가 가가지고 우리나라 사람은 굶고 일본 사람들을 배불리게 한 땅이기 때문에
Jo Jeong-rae fearlessly wrote about the history of suppression and suffering, which had been considered shameful by many. Through the new history he created, he engraved his name in the Korean literary world. His childhood days were poor. When his father, a Buddhist monk, got arrested for his radical activities, the guns that were pointed to Jo Jeong-rae's head led him to live the life of a novelist. He had been forced to go through ideological conflicts during his childhood. Based on his experiences during those times, Jo Jeong-rae was able to affirm the historical facts he went through himself. The recording of a new history was the biggest challenge in life. Locking himself in a chamber of writing, he focused on his pieces 14 hours a day on average. After cutting himself off from the outside world, for 20 years, he wrote the epic trilogy on the 100 years of history. Until he finished his trilogy, eating, sleeping, and writing were the only things he did.
20세기를 총정리할 때 지구상에 지금 대략 200개 정도의 나라가 있는데 그 나라 중에서 우리처럼 그렇게 비참하고 슬프고 처절한 역사를 산 민족이 없습니다. 그 100년을 이 땅에 태어난 작가로서 제대로 정리를 못한다면 작가로서 해야 될 임무가 무엇인가 하는 문제를 저는 계속 생각했고 그 자각에 따른 제 스스로 응답으로 태백산맥, 아리랑, 한강을 쓰게 된 겁니다. 그래서 제 능력이 얼마큼 잘 썼는지 그것은 역사가 평가할 것이지만 제 나름대로 이 땅에 태어난 작가로서 최소한의 임무는 다한 게 아닌가 하는 안도감을 느끼고 있습니다.
Jo Jeong-rae has heaped up a mountain range, not only on Korean literature, but also on Koreans and their history. Now he lifts his pen for those who are waiting for him, not to write an epic, but to write 10 novels until he reaches his 70s.
Jo Jeong-rae speaks the truth that everyone else fears to speak of before anyone else can speak of it. In his writings, he describes the heavy sins of the people who cannot be forgiven and the rest that people have who cannot forgive within them. Even though those stories are set in the long past, those stories will be placed in our realities through Jo Jeong-rae, and people will start to forgive each other.